everybody, welcome back to this special episode this time. Wow, it's so special. I bet you're feeling excited. My name is Space Otter, here in the most popular and epic podcast on the internet, and the only podcast about video games ever, VoleMaulder Gamecast. And with me, I have
VoleMaulder. I'm also here to talk about video games, which is very, very pioneering stuff on the internet these days. We are interjecting our normal program with a special about the stuff that occurred last week. Something to note, because it will be a little bit inconsistent in how we sound, I suppose, is that we recorded a bunch of episodes when we decided to start doing this last year. Then we got stuck because we didn't have any artwork for it.
Yeah.
We started doing some streaming in the meantime just to fill the time, and also we wanted to do that too. Now we're recording episodes again, but we have a backlog of recorded episodes which we'll be putting up in the order that we recorded them. With the exception of this one, there's a special because Summer Game Fest happened, games were announced, demos were played, and we wanted to talk about them between us and include you as well in this discussion.
Yeah, it's a bit time sensitive. Like, if we don't talk about this now, it's just going to be irrelevant.
Yeah, it's already kind of old news at this point. So.
Yeah, and we always like really enjoy going into this kind of like rabbit hole of like, finding out about new games that are coming and playing demos and talking about them and just taking part in this like dumb hype.
Yeah, and like previous years, I didn't really play any demos because I tend to fall into this trap of, oh man, I have limited time to play games. I have all these games in my backlog. If I use my time to play demos of games that I will perhaps play eventually, I'm quote-unquote wasting my time. But this year, because we can also do this and we can do some streams around it, it's made it fun for me again. So it doesn't come with the stress of, oh man, I'm wasting time from actually playing games. Like, no, I'm playing stuff that I'm curious about, and then we get to talk about them, and it's great. So it's good stuff.
I'm glad that you got to be part of it, but personally, me, last year when we did it, I was pretty much the same. Like, really on top, keeping notes, playing a lot of demos. Not because we had to do this or anything, it's just because I like being excited about upcoming releases. The problem whenever this happens is that my backlog and my wish list become like triple the size, and I don't get any time.
Yeah. I mean, I used to do this years ago when I had less existential anxiety about my backlog, I guess, which is a weird thing to have. But yeah, I imagine I'm not the only one who has this. So what we're going to do today is we will talk about games that we saw in some of the showcases, because we didn't watch everything, that stood out to us as potentially interesting. We're not really going into much depth into them because some of them were just teasers or trailers, and we don't have a lot to go on. It's more like, this was interesting. Why did we find it interesting? And that was pretty much it.
Because we do enjoy these shows, like no matter how at times cringy and artificial they might feel, we do like lovingly poking fun at them. So we will also like kind of like semi-criticize the, let's say, the quality overall of the overall package that we got over this weekend of endless ads being thrown at us, to the point that my brain was not able anymore to process any new information and understand, like...
Yeah, it does get a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I zoned out a little bit in some of the stuff with Jeff Keighley. That was perhaps the weakest. No, it wasn't the weakest one. It was the weakest one of the big ones, I guess.
Yeah.
The big three, as I have in my mind, like Sony, the SGF, and then the Xbox one, because there were a lot of smaller stuff between.
I mean, good stuff were introduced. Like, we did get things that I'm genuinely excited for. But usually, like, my main passion comes when we go into the later, smaller shows, and I think we're going to go into a little bit more depth in that. So
the stuff we're covering is basically the State of Play, the Summer Games Fest main show. Then you Space Otter, you're going to talk a little bit about Day of the Devs, wholesome games, and women-led games. Also, Southeast Asian games.
Mhm.
You have one game here on the list to talk about. You have a Green Games rant to go on.
No, spoilers.
And then we're going to talk about the Xbox a bit more because there were a lot of stuff in there that I liked. Then sum up our final thoughts, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
So, Sony announced out of nowhere a state of play, as they tend to do, which, just to clarify, they're not PlayStation showcases. So they're meant to be smaller and like not really a big deal, and that's why they don't announce them with a big heads up. But this time I think they did a pretty good job for what this was. And
there was a lot of stuff.
They showed a lot of things.
There was a lot of stuff, yeah. Speaking of stuff...
Speaking of stuff, there is a game called Pragmata in it, which in Greek, pragmata, means basically things.
Yeah.
So this has been an ongoing joke since this game was first announced and showed in 2022.
Was it in 22?
Right?
It feels ages ago. It feels like ages ago. I thought the project was dead. Like, we had not seen anything since, and what the very little teaser we saw back in 22 apparently was very impressive, and I think it was almost like an ongoing joke with us, because every time we were watching a PlayStation showcase or a state of play, we were saying, are they going to show it? And they were never showing it. So I think like the last time that they had a state of play, which was around March or February, it was the first time that I did not ask for it, let's say.
Yeah, so I was starting to think as well, this game had been abandoned or silently cancelled, and then we would hear about it at some point, but apparently still alive.
Yeah, I'm happy to see it.
I don't know if I'm as excited as I used to be about it at this point, which might be a combination of how much time has passed, but also it reminded me a little bit, I suppose, of BioShock in terms of the gameplay.
Yes, it does look a little bit, also because, there's a little girl that follows you around, I guess, a little sister, you may say.
They had a bit of Big Daddy vibes, but this might be very superficial and just based on the...
I'm interested. I will check it out at some point. I will need convincing to purchase it and not wait for it to go on Plus or something.
Yeah, same.
But you never know. Like, what we saw looks polished, it looks neat. But again, I don't think we have a lot of context on what it is.
So. We don't have a lot of context. Most of my interest in it is because it looks weird. And I'd like to have more weird games. Games have become a little bit too safe, the big ones lately. So I like weird. Then, speaking of weird stuff, Baby Steps was shown in this state of play.
Yeah, it was announced a year ago, right? Like last year, this time. I am genuinely excited for it.
Let's not say too much about it now, because I played the demo and I have things to say about it. And I don't remember which impressions I have are from the trailer and which are from the demo I played. So let's just keep it on the side. We'll talk about it on the demo. But it looked like a fun thing. I played the demo. It was fun. We'll talk about it more. Ghost of Yote was shown. I don't have a lot to say about this other than I'm looking forward to it, but I have not yet finished Ghost of Tsushima. You have?
Yeah, if I am to say anything about Ghost of Tsushima, it's what Assassin's Creed should have been. Like, it takes that formula and actually makes it enjoyable and interesting. I think it's going to be an ongoing thing you'll be seeing from me, is that I really dislike Assassin's Creed, especially later on. And
yeah, fair enough.
And I feel like I have cheapened games a little bit with their influence.
The Ubisoft formula has grown tired. I think the time I was thinking of playing Ghost of Tsushima, I had grown tired of the open world formula as a whole. So I've taken a break from games like that, and I want to come back to it at some point and play it properly, like play it on hard. I've read that if you play it on a harder difficulty, all the abilities and skills you have start to become almost necessary and the game becomes more interesting. And that on normal, it can be a bit too easy, so you can kind of breeze through without actually using everything, which sounds a little bit similar to arguments I have made about The Witcher 3. So I want to go and do a playthrough like that. I will probably stream it. So there's that.
It is a good game. I recommend you play it.
So the fact there's another one being made, great in my book. So I have 2 great games to play in that franchise. Hirogami was another one that stood out to me because of the art style.
Yeah, that's the one that's like basically origami combat platformer. What exactly is it?
I played the demo. We'll talk about it more. The thing in the presentation was basically the art style that stood out to me, and I wanted to see more of it.
It looked very cool.
Yeah. Another game that looked very cool, and I'm almost ashamed to admit it, was that James Bond game.
Why are you ashamed?
Because fucking James Bond, it's really boring as a franchise.
Well, you say that, but when it's really goofy back in the 60s and 70s and stuff, I think that was the best things about it. Unfortunately, it's not for me. I'm really not interested in James Bond, and I know that it's like taking on a lot from the modern Hitman games, from what I understand, and just like expanding it, let's say, in a way. But neither are the Hitman games something for me. So I don't.
Fair enough.
I just don't care, unfortunately, for this one.
I've not played the modern ones a lot, mostly because of time. But in the past, I have played a lot of Hitman games and enjoyed the hell out of them. What I have played of the latest one, I have enjoyed similarly as much as I used to. It's just I don't have the time to put into. There can be huge time sinks for me because I enjoy them so much. Like that sandbox style of multitude of approaches. I end up playing the same stage for like 5 hours just to try different shit.
Yeah, I think that's the purpose of it as well.
Yeah, if I could be okay with having one forever game that I play and nothing else, that could be one of my games. So part of my excitement about James Bond is that.
Yeah.
And also I can't get over the fact that the character design for this James Bond looks like a Greek pop singer. In my mind, I think the comment I made when he showed up was, "Oh, Sakis Rouvas plays James Bond, great."
Why do you have to bring up that person in our podcast?
I don't know, man.
It's tainted. It's gone. Okay. For second episode, I quit. I thought you looked like Tom Holland, actually, for the most part. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It seemed more amusing to me to imagine him as Sakis Rouvas. But anyway, moving on. There was a game that got you a bit stumped when we're watching the reveal, and you were like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And I'm like, "This must be a Suda 51 game."
Yeah, it was.
And it was, yeah. Romeo as a dead man.
So, Suda 51. I haven't played anything other than. Wow, what was that free to play game on the PlayStation 4?
Huh?
That was like third person combat, and it was something about death. I remember that it was a game that was fun as long as I played it, but it was made for you to purchase more stuff to be able to beat it. And for that, I stopped playing after 19 hours. And I think it was Suda. Because it also had this like very wacky kind of style to it.
Was it Let It Die?
Yes, it was.
Right.
Is it Suda?
It is.
Yeah,
He was an executive director.
Yeah, it's the only touch I had with his style.
Fair enough.
I'll play No More Heroes, I guess. I may stream it.
Another thing that you should play, perhaps, that you might enjoy, is Shadows of the Damned. Killer 7 is a really good one.
I've heard that Killer 7 is sexist as fuck.
I don't remember anymore. This is like 2005. This was like PS2 time.
So probably it was sexist as fuck.
Probably was.
Anyway, I probably will check something out, yeah.
Lollipop Chainsaw is on Plus at the moment.
Oh, is it? I played Lollipop Chainsaw. On the Xbox 360? I think.
Probably.
Yeah, but like not a lot, like 2 hours or so, like because a friend of mine had it, and you just hurl around your boyfriend's head while fighting zombies with a chainsaw, and you're a cheerleader?
So
something like that.
Romeo's Deadman looked nuts in the same kind of vibe that all his games are.
Yeah.
I might play a bit. I've never finished any of his games. I play a little bit. I get some fun out of it, and I go, okay, that's enough, and then I move on.
Yeah, my only worry is that it might be an edgelordy kind of game. And if that's the case, probably I will lose interest fairly quickly.
Yes. I should probably note that it's been more than a decade since I played one of his games, so I don't know. How?
Who knows? I might stream something.
Yeah. Then we got a trailer for Silent Hill F.
Big sigh here.
Yeah.
It looks good. Like, the aesthetics are nice. The water sort of the gameplay looked nice. But I cannot trust Konami.
Not yet. They need to do more work to earn my trust. Also, depends. I think they have a lot of Silent Hill games in the making at the moment. So it might depend very much on who is developing it, because from what we know, and from the 2 hours I played of Silent Hill 2 Remake, because I got it like literally 2 days ago, Bloober seems to get it.
Okay.
I've also played other Bloober games where they had whole sections and bits in them that had made me think every time, oh man, this has like a strong Silent Hill vibe. I like this. Enough people in that team get it. There's another Silent Hill in the making by the developers of Observation.
Yep, you've mentioned that.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
There was a demo of a Silent Hill game that I can't remember now the title of.
Something about Lost Call?
Something like that. It was cringe as fuck.
Oh, did you play it?
I could not finish it. Yeah, it was terrible.
I did not hear very good things about it. I had downloaded it, but I just... To be honest, I just started to play it, and then I saw the trigger warnings, and based on the state of mind that I was, I felt like it was just not the time to watch something that deals with that. So I did not touch it. But
fair enough. It seemed very, I don't know. I don't want to say things that are maybe too harsh, but it seemed like teenage emo rather than...
So the worst part of Life is Strange?
Yeah, that was the result. So we'll see. I'll keep my eye on F. Maybe they'll manage to find a couple of good studios to revive this franchise and get new games out of it rather than remakes.
Well, I hope I don't give it an F.
Yeah, me too. Something that will probably not give an F, however, is Sword of the Sea.
Hell yeah. Okay, so...
Hell yeah.
I think we're most likely gonna do a deep dive to Journey at some point. Because I think Journey was very informative for both of us.
Yeah.
As a game, and I also really, really, really love Abzu as well. I have not played Pathless yet, which I realized as I was watching the trailer. Oh, Pathless, I have not played that yet. And people say it's very good, so there's not much to say there. You have a sword, you surf it in sands, it looks like Journey. Austin Wintory is doing the soundtrack again, so it will at least be good.
All good signs, all promising signs. It's going to be on Plus Extra on release, so we're going to play it as soon as it comes out, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be spotlighty, basically. I'm not committing, but I have a feeling that we're going to deep dive immediately and just talk about it, so...
Yeah, I've loved every single one of these games.
Yep.
Oh, I've not played there was a free one on the PS5. I think there was multiplayer.
Sky?
That one. I think so.
So I tried to begin it. Long story short, I just was not understanding the point of it.
Okay.
I was playing it and I was like, but what am I supposed to do? What is... I don't understand. I felt like an old man. I felt like a very old man playing that game. Which is weird because it's not like a young people hip game or whatever, but... I was just confused.
Sometimes some creative director has an idea for a passion project and it doesn't connect with you, and it's fine.
I would rather have people do swings and missing rather than not doing a swing at all. And that's the main plague of modern video, well, quote unquote AAA video games. That's basically my issue and why I'm seeking more smaller indie games and why I'm finding more passion in them.
Absolutely. And in terms of passion and stuff that is niche and not for everyone, Thief VR, Legacy of Shadow, was shown just for Sony to remind us that no, actually, they do have a VR headset and they've not completely killed it and abandoned it yet. Although this is not a Sony game, but still. I don't have a PSVR 2.
Me neither. I will not have it because it is expensive and I just don't feel like in the beginning when VR came out, everyone was going fucking crazy for it. But I never felt it's the future, and I'm starting to feel more and more right as we go forward. So I don't know.
It depends what we mean by the future, because I think it was overhyped, both perhaps by Sony, understandably, but I think it was overhyped a little bit by the gaming press as well. I thought that VR would become, my hope, and I think it's moved towards that, is that it's become a niche thing in the same way that, I don't know, steering wheels are a niche thing for racing games.
So it's the niche thing for people that want to watch porn.
Certainly, but also it's the niche thing for people who do racing sims, because it's a great way to do that. There are some other things that are quite cool, like in my mind it's the natural, more immersive evolution of like the weird motion control fad that the Wii brought on.
That's the thing, it is a niche thing, and because it's a niche thing, it's not bringing enough money in, and because it's not bringing enough money in, it's never gonna have enough content for me to justify buying a set.
It's also much more difficult than something. So the way it's talked about confuses things, because when you see, for example, a direct drive steering wheel, you don't know really about racing stuff, but like the entry stuff,
personally, no.
They're belt-driven or gear-driven stuff, like the entry Thrustmaster, the entry Logitech controllers and stuff like that. No, Thrustmaster, it's funny. We're adults.
The moment you said it, God damn it.
Those are in the realm of like 200, 250 pounds. Right? And those are the entry wheels. I have 2 of them here. You're still laughing.
I cannot stop. The Thrustmaster.
I don't know, man. They don't only make steering wheels, they make like controllers and joysticks.
Please excuse me. I'm really high on like antihistamines and cortisone. I don't know what's happening. This was like the funniest thing of the weekend.
Yeah. But then if you go into the mid-tier wheels, you get into like the 600-700 pounds very quickly. No one really goes and says, "Oh, these wheels are way too expensive," blah blah, because they're seen as a niche controller for sim racing. I think the way we talk about and what we expect out of something like PSVR is mismatched to what this device really is. Because it's a niche device, it will never become popular enough or mainstream enough to see Uncharted and all that there. And you have the extra difficulty on top of that a lot of people will feel motion sickness when they play it.
Yeah, unfortunately. Just to like random story to add there before we move on to the next game.
Yeah, no, that was the last one from the Sony bit, so then we can go into the...
I mean, in the end, the Sony bit ended up with a Marvel fighting game that when we were watching, we really were not into. But apparently the fighting game community was really hyped, so I'm happy for them.
And there's a point there to be made. I was watching Kyle Bossman's video on the fests, and he was talking about how there was a stark difference in his view between how Sony did their thing and how Microsoft did their thing, in that Sony seemed to understand and respect their audience, and that game was an example of that. Like, they talked about things in that presentation that fighting game fans would understand and would want to hear. So they were talking to an audience that was going to be there. They understood who was watching, as opposed to talking to whom? I don't know. Like, the people who watch the stuff, the people who will spend 2.5 hours watching game ads, are the people who are really into games.
Yeah, you have to be a geek.
Yes.
You have to be a geek to stay there. Like, we'll talk about it later, but I think Xbox almost always falls in this like very big ass net trying to catch them all, not Pokemon related approach, which is always like a little bit more generic.
And I think it falls a bit flat, and I think it comes across as not really respecting your audience in that sense, because don't try to sell shit to me that doesn't make any sense, because I'll know. Because I'm a fucking nerd.
Anyway, like to add to the VR conversation, I've played on VR twice. Once was in 2013.
2013?
When VR, I think 2013 or 2014, when VR started being a thing. And they were porting, like, on the university that we were studying, they had, like, presentation of a VR headset. I think at the time was the Rift.
Must have been the Oculus Rift, yeah.
Yeah, and they had just ported Mirror's Edge and Half-Life 2. Played Half-Life 2, it was weird. It was weird being in Half-Life 2. Not an issue. Played Mirror's Edge almost had a panic attack. And it was a very exciting thing. I was like, oh, cool. That's going to be a great way of playing things. And the next time I played VR was on a social experiment in the Museum of Natural History in Berlin.
Okay.
They were doing an experiment for empathy. So they were trying to put you in the situation of someone in a walking sim, basically, trying to avoid people with COVID.
Huh. Oh, I remember you had told me about it at the time, yeah.
I think that was the Meta Quest or something related. I started getting super dizzy and my glasses started fogging up because like my skin started perspiring and it was like laggy. And the game that the students were made, I think, was just not well rendered. And I was just struggling not to fall backward as I was playing it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good experience.
Yeah, and I think it was a issue of the frame rate and like everything was like a bit laggy as I was turning around. Horrible experience. I generally like have not touched the VR since. Not that I had the opportunity, but I didn't want to.
I have the PSVR for the PlayStation 4. I've played some stuff like Job Simulator and other shit like that. That's fun. Like the static games I can handle.
People say Moss is nice.
Moss is a weird one. So like well, let's not go into like too much detail here. The PSVR, the first one, has some tracking issues. So it can lose focus of the tracking and does a very subtle move when you're not moving. And that really fucks my brain up. So Moss does that a lot for some reason. And I get dizzy. I get ill playing Moss. I will say though, on the other end of the spectrum, the 1.5 laps I managed in Gran Turismo Sport before I felt too unwell because I didn't have my VR legs yet. It was one of the most amazing, like that was the thing that made me go, man, this is a fucking paradigm shift. I cannot go back to like 2D racing games ever again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Niche stuff, basically.
That was the
Sony State of Play.
And then the big show started. Holy shit. Hype. Jeff Keighley.
Golden sneakers.
Okay, that was a lot of stuff. That was a lot of stuff. So I think it's going to be very hard for us to actually go from every single one that we went through. We're not going to mention things that we were not interested in, but we're also not going to mention things that we are interested in. We just don't have time.
I mean,
to mention.
I didn't mention everything on the State of Play either.
So I think we're just going to, like, for the next few showcases, we're just going to go point by point, like things that stood out to us and why. So what's the first thing that stood out to you in that presentation?
That was Mortal Shell 2, mostly for the music. I have not played the first game.
Hey, that's my first point here as well. I have not played the first game. We have it on Extra.
Yeah.
And based on what I saw, I was like, cool, I'm going to download that. And the only reason why I haven't played it yet is because I'm really deep into Clair Obscur and I want to platinum it and finish it.
Fair enough. Then we have Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which is Death Stranding. It seemed almost like Keighley just wanted Kojima there and Kojima just phoned in a trailer. And that was it.
It was not a trailer.
Yeah, it was just a random cutscene, I guess.
It was a random cutscene between two characters that we don't know and we don't have a reason to care about that lasted about 5 minutes. In order to start the ad, they cut off Kojima as he was saying something.
Oh, I missed that. I think I had gotten up to get some water.
He started saying "ano," which means like so, and it cut to the scene. I'm like, oh no, they cut Kojima. That's like sacrilege. I'm interested to play it. They have Marinelli, which is like a big Italian actor, but really what we saw was absolutely nothing.
Then we saw Code Vein 2, which stood out a little bit to me because we had played a little bit of the first game. I had enjoyed it a lot.
We enjoyed it. The problem we had with Code Vein, the first one, was it has the Dark Souls kind of multiplayer mindset, which is you cannot just join another player and just play all the way through. You just join, you fight a boss, you get kicked back to your thing. If you die, you get kicked back to your thing. Like, we're looking for something more consistently multiplayer, not this drop in, drop out kind of thing.
It's been on my list to go back to and play by myself at some point, but I have other things to play.
It's really not high on the list, yeah.
End of Abyss is on the list, but I don't remember what this is.
That was mine. End of Abyss. It looks like a top-down spoopy shooter, I've written down. It had like a feel that felt a little bit like the game that the team from Limbo made afterwards. This like very grey, industrially, some disturbing looking creatures running towards you as you shoot them top down. Like, it looked interesting. So I don't know. I'll check it out. I'm not entirely sure what it is. So
the game was called Inside, the one you were looking for.
Right, Inside. Yeah, Inside was good.
Yeah,
it had like this aesthetic. Inside meets Little Nightmares. So I'm like, I will check it out. It's poopy stuff, so let's go.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Limbo, but I liked Inside a lot more. Then I have noted down Onimusha Way of the Sword.
Yeah, it looks good.
Which I know, and I think you know as well, we're going to be not good enough for it.
Probably not. That doesn't mean that if I get it on my hands, I'm not going to try it.
Same here, because I remember liking the Onimusha games back on the PlayStation 2. I'd be curious what I would think of this type of game today.
Mm-hmm.
Then one I'm really looking forward to is Mafia: The Old Country, which is coming out in August.
I don't know. I'm not, but we'll see, I guess.
I've enjoyed Mafia 1 and Mafia 2 a lot. I didn't really click with Mafia 3, and I think Mafia: The Old Country is going back to the old style of Mafia. And it's also set in the setting is something that I want to be a tourist in, way more than the US places.
I think I'm not really into Mafia, which sounds weird.
Not really into organized crime.
Yeah, not the games, like the actual organized crime and like the Mafia media, let's say. Of course, like we had like very big good movies like, Goodfellas and everything, but it's not my thing. And the presentation, let's say, of Sicily by Italian friends has been mocked. So
fair enough. Like, I'm not really into the mobster media either. I think what I really enjoy with these games is a combination of the time period tourism, and the music. I like driving around. I like looking at places. I like taking photos in the games, collecting things, immersing myself in just another time period, even if it's not really accurate. So that is why I'm looking forward to this. I don't really care about the Mafia story.
I mean, that could also be something that you can do in the new Yakuza game that got announced, which is not a Yakuza game.
What was that called? Stranger Than Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
1940s.
I don't know how much of a tourist you can be in those. Like, are they open where you can just go wherever you want for and ignore other stuff?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because every time I've tried to play a Yakuza game, it doesn't seem to be that.
It is restricted, but at the same time, it's always so like loyal to how Japan feels, let's say, that this makes me always interested in.
Faithful, but it's perhaps not loyal. But anyway.
Faithful, not loyal. We are Greek, don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you, I'm just thinking there's a better word for it.
Anyway, so yeah, maybe that's, I'm into, I still have not finished the Yakuza game.
Yeah.
They talk too much, and they repeat the same stuff. Every single time I played, I'm into it, but then that's my problem with these games, that they continuously give the same information in dialogues that last very long, and I don't feel it's respectful of my time, so I never finished one. Like a Dragon was the closest one I got, and probably I will finish it, but I just haven't yet.
Mixtape is one I'm literally looking forward to, and we had talked about it in one of the episodes that is coming up after this one that we recorded last year when we talked about The Artful Escape.
Have they said exactly when it's coming out?
2025. I'm not sure if there's anything more specific.
Then I guess we'll play it.
Yeah.
It looks good, has nice music and a Artful Escape, as you will hear. It's something we liked, so yeah, definitely something we're going to check out. The company's called Beethoven and Dinosaurs, so I'm like, yeah.
And then we have something that I misheard when they announced it. Acts of Blood, which I misheard as Acts of Blood, and I thought of a bloody guitar.
Have you watched the Raid movies?
I have not.
You should. This game looks like the Raid movies, but the game. Ultra-violent, melee, combat.
CQC.
I also think it's Indonesian, so...
Okay, I'm interested in this. I don't know if I'll be good enough to play. It depends on how it plays.
Probably not for me either. I mean, it's probably close to Sifu, which is a game that you need to get good at as you go on. I have not played a lot of it. I just realized when I was playing Sifu, okay, I will need to really focus to go through this, and we'll see.
It looks like a game that I might enjoy watching someone else who's really good at it play, rather than play it myself. So yeah, Axe of Blood looked cool. Ill, on the other hand, looked... What did it look like?
That was probably my highlight.
Yeah.
Like, Ill looks gross and nasty looking enough that I saw, like, quick YouTube shorts of, like, filmmaker reacts to Ill, psychologist reacts to... And then there's people getting shocked by it. And I'm like, that's great.
I have a little bit of apprehension about this, whether it might be just one note, just shocking, and not really have much substance.
It could be a hit, it could be a miss. It looked striking. I don't know, if you have a strong stomach, go watch that trailer. It's wacky and weird and quite disturbing. So,
well, a game that I think we can say with quite a lot of confidence that it will be good is Resident Evil Requiem.
They closed the show with that.
Yeah.
I mean, not much to say there. It's a Resident Evil. We'll play it immediately.
Yeah, it looked like the first Resident Evil game they're making just for this generation, so it looks way better than the previous ones.
Did you play Village?
I have not played Village yet. But that game was also like Village on the PS4, so like we've not seen the full current gen version of their engine and what they can do and will do in Resident Evil, so I'm really looking forward to it. And from what
the full current gen that is about to end and go to next gen.
It's been a weird one. This one, it's been a very weird one. But anyway, we're getting a full proper next gen Resident Evil finally, and what they showed was amazing.
It looked good. I'm happy with it, and also like it looks like they're changing their gimmicks quite a lot, like from one to one. Previous one was Halloweeny, spoopy. The previous one was more like first person, like how Outlast was, and
yeah, and then the different settings give them quite different vibe, and I love that. They don't feel stale.
I was very happy.
Yeah.
Just to throw some honorable mentions in the pile, because they look good as well. Wu Chang, it looked really beautiful. Potentially it's going to be very hard, like one of those games, because it gave me like major Sekiro vibes. So most likely I will suffer, but I do want to check it out. Out of Words, we did not mention that. It's something that I had in mind for a really long time, and I was following the animator that was working on it on social media as well. They announced it 2 or 3 years ago, and since then I want to watch it. Play it. It's basically like a full stop motion video game, not action. I don't think it's an action game. So I guess art style draws me there.
Mm-hmm.
Lies of Pi is getting a DLC, and I felt very funny, so I wrote down Lies of Pooh. That's
Good stuff.
the sequel. Blighted look nice from the creators of Guacamelee. And if Infinitesimals, which is like you are an ant and you fight with robots, and
Oh yeah, I forgot
it's
about
big
that one.
bugs, like with bugs, but like I don't know, Pikmin meets Metal Gear. I don't know what to call it. What we actually saw was very little, but I'm really interested to see what is gonna come out of that. So yeah,
and that does it for the Summer Game Fest, and then you take it away with some Day of the Dev stuff because I don't remember anything from that.
No, I have written a lot of things down, so I'll just go relatively quickly with these ones. Usually, Day of the Devs and the smaller other shows are what makes me very excited about the Summer Game Fest. I feel like AAA games are kind of like creatively bankrupt at times, rehashing a lot of really safe stuff, and usually with Day of the Devs I get to see something a bit more bold and weird and wacky. So yeah, I think it was a very good showcase. Big Walk was one that I noted down, which looks like a weird multiplayer puzzler, and you just have to learn to communicate with other players through the game. It's from the developers of Untitled Goose Game as well, which is an extra point for it. They talked about Sword of the Sea and Mixtape, which we already talked about. Dosa Divas, fuck yeah. It's from the developers of Thirsty Suitors that you played.
Oh yeah, didn't really do anything for me. I played about an hour and a half, and then that was it.
I mean, I'm very interested to play it. I have not yet because it's not available to me. You have Game Pass.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's just I played a bit of it when it went on Game Pass. I'm like, maybe I'll play the rest, and then I'd never go back to it.
Which is probably something that's probably not for you.
Yeah.
I will still try it. And Dosa Divas looks very cool. Possessors, it looked good. I tried to play the demo of it. Unfortunately, my PC would not run it really well. I don't know why. Despite being a side scroller like Castlevania, like it wasn't very demanding. It just got a bit laggy, so I don't know if it was my PC or...
Yeah.
Which is not a good PC, honestly, or the demo itself. Then we had Please Watch the Artwork. Do you remember that?
No.
So there was a guy that was speaking very whispery close to the microphone.
I remember that, yes.
And it was like a bit uncomfortable. And the game itself looked a little bit like a Spot the Difference, but spooky in paintings.
Right.
So like you were spotting anomalies in the paintings, and you had to like point them out to bring the... I think they were demons, they were possessed paintings, I'm not sure. It looked like a very strange one, and I'm like, okay, this is wacky, I need to check this out, probably.
All right.
Consume Me was one of the highlights for me. It looked like a modern young person anxiety thing about maintaining like a healthy weight and having responsibilities and having people talk around you about it. It looked very relatable.
Okay.
There was a game called Tire Boy, which was... I don't know exactly what it is.
Tire as in the tires that go on wheels?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It was a boy stuck in a tire, and that was it. Like,
yes. I think I saw
I don't know
this.
exactly what I don't know exactly what it is, but if you make something like that, you're going to draw my attention.
Fair enough.
Toem 2. I really like the first Toem game. It's a photograph game, basically black and white, and you're just a little character, and people ask you to take specific photographs of them, and it's basically a puzzle that you play with perspectives and stuff, with photography in it. Adorable. I'm happy that they make a second one. So, sure. And Neverway, I think, is the one that has broken the internet out of everything in there, because it's the Stardew Valley looking game that's spooky. And it's from the creators of Celeste.
Okay, so totally lost me. Not for me.
It looks interesting. I will check it out.
Fair enough.
I think after that we had Wholesome Games.
Yeah, which we watched together live, and we both found it quite disappointing.
Live as in not like actually streaming it.
No, we watched it as it was being shown live. We just usually we go into a call and we watch them and we
Yeah, usually like that's our thing now. We watch video game ads together.
Yes.
Wholesome games, when they first started like a few years ago, they started putting out some like crazy good games that I love. And I think between them, some of them have become like favorites, like of all time and stuff. Like, I don't know, Ooblets was something that I really loved, even if it's like a small silly one.
But this year, I don't know, most of the stuff over the past couple of years at least, I'm going by memory here, so I could
It's
be
since
wrong.
last year, yeah. Last year was very disappointing.
It
And
seems
this
to me
year,
like cozy
similarly.
games have been equated with life sims, work sims, or like some kind of job sim. And it's like, capitalism is not fucking cozy. I don't want to play a capitalism sim just to what? I don't understand what the whole fantasy that we're playing there is. Because there was one particular one that was like, I don't know if it's the one that also you mentioned about it being like a Stardew Valley / spooky, but they were talking about how you get to hire people and then negotiate their salaries.
No.
Okay.
That was called Let's Build a Dungeon.
All right, okay. And I'm like, why is this in here? And combined with a very like cringy and comfortable music with people talking in really soft voices all the time, and I'm really smiley, and I don't know, man. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me, this show this year.
Basically, Vol just needs manly man stuff
Yes.
with guns. Otherwise, he cannot stand it.
I know. We'll get to that later.
Look, to me, like, it has become disappointing. Like, the games that they present start becoming kind of the same, with the worst kind of, let's say, offenders here being like match 3 games and nonograms, which is the lowest effort games that you can put in there. And like, you can brag that you're presenting a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're just filling the space with things that are not creative or interesting, you just don't care as much. So despite like having loved wholesome games in the past, like, it slowly has become something that I'm looking forward to less and less. So Day of the Devs was my highlight this time. Well, I put in Leaf Blowing Simulator for the lols. It's not gonna be as good as Power Washing Simulator. Let's face it.
Hard truths here.
But okay, let's go to the things that actually looked interesting. So Gecko God, something that been expecting for years. I played the demo, so we're going to discuss it in the demo discussion. Guardian of Nature looked adorable. The art style looks fantastic. It looks like Nordic style, playing with like different perspectives, sizes and everything. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it looks really nice. Big Hops, it's a collectathon platformer that you're a frog and you use your tongue to platform. This looks good.
That looked kind of cool, yes.
Yeah, and then we have the other things that stood out to me were Winterboro, Anxiety Puppy, Letters of Arala, and A Social Giraffe. So, yeah, small things that are interesting and you could check out.
And then we have one game that we want to mention from Women-led Games, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Fuck. This is going to be a 3-hour episode.
No, I'm going to give I'm going to mostly talk about the ones that I found interesting.
Okay.
And then I'll do the honorable mentions about the rest ones. So I think the first one they opened with was Will Follow the Light, which not a lot to take away there. It looks like an investigation walking sim.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for those if they're good. So
it had a lot of vibes. It looked like very lonely and sad, and it looked interesting. Perfect Tide, Station to Station. I played the demo, so we're gonna talk about that.
Cool.
Pretty cool. Crescent County looked nice, which is like, I think you do deliveries, but you're witches on brooms. So cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. Wudo looked cute. I think you did not take into it particularly. It was the one that looked like it made of woodblock toys for kids.
Yeah, it's just not something that looks particularly cute to me, so I don't know.
Because you're not a baby.
Yeah. That's correct.
Prison of Husks, I played the demo. That stood out to me a lot, so I'm looking forward to playing more and actually talk about it more.
Cool.
Cairn, which looks like a game about climbing, and I find climbing fucking scary, so...
Yeah, and I almost played the demo of that. It's on PlayStation as well.
I probably will play it between now and the next episode, so the next special. So, and then just the next things to mention, which we haven't had time to cover in bigger details: Grave Seasons, Void Martyrs, and Provoron. Provoron, not provolone, the cheese.
Glad you clarified that.
Yeah. Last thing I checked was Southeast Asian games.
Yeah.
Which I had just one game noted down, which was Tanuki Pon Sama, which gave me major Ghibli vibes. And I think you're a Tanuki deliverer of letters, but you also do tricks with your bike.
Okay.
It looked cute. I'm going to play it.
That sounds like something I might enjoy playing, actually.
And then, there was a new showcase that was announced this year, Green Games. Did you check that out?
I have no idea what this is.
So I'm a stinky hippie. I like nature and animals and the ecology. I'm passionate about climate change, and I usually speak a lot about it. So when they announced a thing that is Green Games, and they said that it's about sustainability in gaming and games that promote the beauty of nature and sustaining it and conservation, I'm like, holy shit, that's like a showcase for me. That's going to be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the lowest point I've seen these Game Awards go to.
Wow. Okay. Why?
So it started off, the first game was a very generic top-down strategy builder, let's say. But it looked like it was made for £1. So I'm like, okay, a bit of a weak start. Let's see what else they're going to show. Second game was a card game with AI art in it.
Very green.
I'm like, who are you referring this to? It was very clear that it was AI art because they had pre-made cards and each card was expanding into an animation that was clearly AI made, very clearly. And I'm like, holy shit, this is not good. This is not the place for it. And then the next game they showed was a match 3, and I'm like, I'm done. You completely lost me.
So it was the greenwashing games show.
Yes, I genuinely felt really offended.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I skipped ahead. What they ended the showcase with was the Walking Dead Season 1 from Telltale.
Huh?
I didn't stick around to see what they were talking about, but they had a trailer of it, and I'm like, why are you closing the case with this?
That's 15 years ago or something that this game came out.
13, but yeah, I don't understand what this was made for. Genuinely, a complete waste of space and energy and no shade, I guess, to the people that were involved in, but if there is one thing to take away from here, if you're making a Green Games showcase, you put in things like Guardian of Nature or the Gecko Gods or Spilled. Spilled was a game that was announced, and I'm going to play the demo at some point, which is a puzzle game about cleaning up oil spills. That's what I expected, and getting something so low effort was offensive.
Okay, that was a shame then.
Cool. So something I'm less angry about, which was the Xbox showcase.
Let's go to the other green game show. It's a different kind of green.
Yeah, not that way.
Yeah. So a lot of games shown in that one, a lot of games back to back, broken up by 3 very cringy segments of executives telling us things to be excited about as if we're gonna fall for it.
Yeah, let's say some of the most unlikable people that could present there.
So they showed a lot of Outer Worlds 2, which looks good. I think we both enjoyed the first game. We're both looking forward to this, and I'm hoping that this will be a better version of the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first one. The things I remember nothing about it.
It wasn't very memorable, no.
Yeah, it did not leave an impression.
Yeah.
Which is surprising for Obsidian.
Yes, I do remember enjoying it. I never felt like it was dragging. I'm not really sure why it wasn't memorable, but hopefully this will be a better version of that. Then they showed something that was weird, which was a Plague Tale game that I'm not really sure when it is set in the Plague Tale timeline. It might be a prequel. It seems to be about a side character from what I saw people talking about, but I've not really looked into it anymore because I liked both Plague Tale games a whole lot, and I wanted to stay as spoiler-free as I can about this.
Mm-hmm. It looks completely detached from the main games. It looks like it was set in Rome or in Roman times. I really cannot.
Yeah, but like we don't know in terms of the lore. It might go back to the origins, perhaps. So we'll see.
Maybe. We'll see.
It has a vague release of 2026, so we'll probably see more of it as it's coming up.
Yeah,
Then
it was relatively teasery, like not a lot to chew on there.
Then I have a thing here that I'm going to keep it very short because other more knowledgeable people in the tech have ranted about this, but they showed an Asus ROG Ally device that they pretended was an Xbox.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, people were mad at it.
And it's like, it made no fucking sense because it's a ROG Ally device, Xbox branded, it has an Xbox button on it, and they're pretending that it's going to play all Xbox games when it's not an Xbox. It's a Windows PC, so it will play Windows games, yes.
It was funny because they were going there presenting, oh, we're so happy to bring you the latest technology made by Microsoft.
No, it's not.
It's Asus.
Yeah, I think and it has two versions, the base one and the X one. And the base one, I think, is similar or roughly on par with Steam Deck. So it's definitely not going to play everything. And it definitely doesn't play Xbox games. So, moving on. It was funny because we were watching Jeff Gerstmann talk over this, and he kept ranting about it for 10 minutes after the show. Understandably. Then a thing that I'm looking forward to, because I have a thirst for blood, was the Blood of Dawnwalker, which is a vampire game by ex-Witcher 3 people. And it has a very Witcher 3 vibe. They have shown this before, and I liked that then as well, last year. I'm just going to say that I'm looking forward to this. It's probably going to be good if it has the pedigree it has, and if it's a good vampire game, sign me up.
Maybe it will be the vampire you never got.
Yes. Then we have Beast of Reincarnation. May I remind myself what is this again? Yes.
It's funny because you told me to check it before we recorded it, and I checked it and I was like, oh, that looks so cool, and I forgot it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many things, it's hard to keep track.
It is.
So this is by Game Freak, which
right. Yeah, Pokemon.
Are known about Pokemon. So this seems to be set in post-apocalyptic Japan, and you're going around slaying really big enemies with a dog companion. So I want to keep an eye on it because this might be good. I don't know.
There's a horsey in it, so I don't care.
Yeah. Then we have Clockwork Revolution, which looked really good for me. No release date at all. So this might just be really early on in production. I'm hoping it will be a good game. It's from In Exile Entertainment, so they have a good pedigree in terms of making RPGs. Looking forward to it. I think that looked really different, and I'm really looking forward to that because of how unusual it is as a game. Was there are no ghosts at the Grand. This might have been the peak of that show for me.
To me, it was the first moment that I went, oh?
Yeah.
I was like, oh? I remember that we started watching it. I was after a nap. I was a bit groggy.
Yeah.
And I remember that we watched this, and when it started, I was like, what's happening? Because like it starts by you being sanga in a like New Orleans jazzy song, and in the end I think it's a renovation puzzler.
Mystery puzzle. Yeah,
It feels like it's a thing beyond genre basically, and the presentation was wacky and interesting.
I'm also curious to see if they'll are they doing a musical game and how is it going to work with that?
I think it will have a lot of music in it.
So a lot of things that I'm curious about and I want to know more about, and so which is a good thing. Again, no release date for this. Then we got a Dontnod sci-fi game, space sci-fi called Aphelion.
Mm-hmm. It's Dontnod. They can make good games.
It's space sci-fi, which I'm a sucker for. It sounds like a good combination, so I'm looking forward to that. Then we had Keeper.
Keeper was by Double Fine. I'm not sure what it is. I didn't check too much about it. You play as a lighthouse.
Yeah, so that alone piqued my curiosity. Yeah. I've never played as a lighthouse in a video game, so sure.
Cool. It's also like Double Fine, which is nice, so...
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Double Fine, but I don't have anything against them either. It's just like half the games they've made, they don't really click with me.
Yeah, we also had At Fate's End, which you didn't seem too interested in, but it's from the developers of Spiritfarer. From what I know, Spiritfarer was good. The art here looks fun, and it seems like you are able to talk during fights as well, so like change outcomes of fights as they happen, which seems interesting. And yeah, I mean,
I'll keep an open mind about it.
An open eye? You need to blink sometimes because your eyes are gonna be irritated.
Yes, I am a white man. I need to blink.
And the big one, Call of Duty.
Man, we were watching that. We were both like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. What the fuck is this? And then at some point it dawns on me, oh, this will be a new Call of Duty, isn't it? And it was. It's a new Black Ops Call of Duty. We don't need to say more about this. We don't play Call of Duty. It's just...
No, we're not the target audience.
No.
But really, the big one, which I guess it's also an announcement for the streams.
Yes, because this is something that I was hoping will happen. And as I was editing the episode, that is the number 1 episode we have, like the numbered, the Evil West, that will have gone up just before this episode, was that I was saying that, I don't know, man, weird things happen. Maybe we'll see Gears of War one day. And that was a year ago that I was saying this. And what are we getting now? A remake of the Gears of War remake that is coming out of PS5 in August 26th this year.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we cannot play day 1.
Because you'll be traveling the world.
Well, yeah, I need to basically just save as much money as I can before my big holiday in Japan, which is more important at this point. Sorry.
We'll get to it. There's no rush.
October.
We know what Gears of War is.
October we'll be playing Gears of War. Finally. Yeah. So I'm really excited about it.
Of the original trilogy, I think it's the weakest because it's the first. It was a little bit of a tech demo as well for the Xbox 360. I don't know how much you remember from it, but I've replayed them all quite recently.
I played 3 in full.
Yeah.
And part of 2. Not played 1. So it will be new to me. Okay. I never had an Xbox. So the fact that I get the chance to play such a revered franchise, cool. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last one they're going to get to the PlayStation.
It's not just revered. I think it's
It changed games.
Yeah.
It changed games. For better or worse. A lot of time for worse, I think. But I think a lot of games really try to be that and that's the problem with video games nowadays, and with music nowadays, and with movies nowadays, and with books nowadays.
With everything.
With all media nowadays, everyone's trying to pirate each other, and it just ends up being like a big mush of everything.
We did end up with a lot of gray, brown-looking third-person cover shooters in the 360 era.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We'll talk about it as we play. I'm really excited to finally play this game with you, basically.
Oh.
We joke a lot about how I love Gears of War. We were having a conversation on chat recently. We were talking about games that we've cried to. And I joked about Gears of War being one of them. It's not really true.
I can see people crying at the third one.
Yeah, the third one I think struck a good balance between being funny and silly and also having some serious emotional moments. The second one is where it got really ridiculous and emo. It's still a great game. It's just, has some scenes that are hilarious.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I think that does it when it comes to presentations and game shows for this year.
We have a bunch of demos to play, but what did you think overall of our experience watching this conglomeration of ads?
It's hard to judge this for a couple of reasons. I think I'm less excitable by this stuff the older I get. I go into all of these every time. I take time off work. We set up the call. I get snacks and all that, trying to recreate the vibe of watching E3s like all those years ago. And it never feels exciting enough. And I used to think this was partly because I got into... So I had the Series Xboxes early in this generation, but I didn't have a PS5. For the first 2-3 years of the generation, Xbox didn't really have any games of its own. Or the games they had, I had no interest in, or they were not good enough. At this point, and this is the dark side of Microsoft buying everything, Xbox has a lot of games. And I was thinking, okay, I got my PS5 last summer. Perhaps the reason I wasn't as excited in this was because Xbox hasn't started releasing all the games from all the devs and publishers they had bought, and I didn't have a PS5, so it was hard for me to get excited about something that I would buy or play 5 years later. Now that I have both consoles, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's just the nature of how developers and publishers reveal stuff and showcase stuff has changed a lot. Most of them have gone the Nintendo Direct route, where we have things to show now, so we'll do a Direct. We'll call it either Direct, we'll call it State of Play, we'll call it whatever, and then they show stuff. And it's been diluted a lot. And then you have Jeff Keighley trying desperately to hold this thing together and make a non-E3 E3, and he make something to replace E3. And
I mean, look, I like E3, despite its artificiality, its dumbness, its cringe. I think I liked it mostly for the cringe. Like, I was enjoying myself massively whenever there was a fuck up.
Yes.
But we don't need to replace it. I like finding out about games. I don't need to have more E3.
Yeah.
Let developers speak for what they make. Let them convince me to play their games. That's the interesting thing now.
Yeah, I agree. At the same time, there's a part of me that still enjoys this whole idea of this is going to be a week starting off the summer where we go in and have a bunch of showcases for different kinds of games, and we all sit down and watch them, and then Steam does the Steam Next Fest and has all those demos that we're going to talk about in the next episode about this. So there is a benefit to this, but it doesn't feel as exciting as it used to feel for me.
To me, it's still good because it does. One of the main things I love is when I look at media to get recommendations, to know that I added a lot of things that I want to which sounds weird because then I complain about how my backlog is too long and I don't have enough time for it. However, I always look for recommendations because that's how I find my favorite stuff, by just looking at things. And you know what? Not through Keighley stuff, because the main shows basically give you things that you will probably find anyway. But through the small...
The main show is very safe and very mainstream and very, I don't know, uninteresting.
Yeah, but through the small stuff, I actually find things that I care about. That's how I found some of my favorite small, tiny, cute games.
I do have to say that I find it a little bit cringy, but not in an enjoyable or fun way. How much he tries to bring celebrities in and actors.
I forgot to mention about Mads Mikkelsen being there.
Yeah, who seemed like
he did not want to be there. He was wearing a ill-fitting suit for the first time in his life, probably. And like they were sitting in a line between like himself, one of the developers or managers from the company that is making the James Bond game, and then Keighley. And it literally was a graph of declining charisma between them. Like from top charisma to the bottom,
and Jeff Keighley is not the most charismatic person in that room, so
no,
that was still a
well, my main criticism is that, you know, let's set aside how Keighley at times sugarcoats things in the industry. Like sometimes I feel like when we are currently facing a period where people are losing their jobs and the industry is becoming more and more unfriendly to jobs, you cannot come out and use language that corporate companies use. Like, I understand that he needs to keep relations.
Yeah.
But if you make something like this, I would be a big fan if you made a statement with it. And you talked about how it's negative, about how this is like bad. If you gave more voices, bigger voice to independent makers compared to that. If the big corporations don't like you, don't promote them. Fuck them. But of course, that's never going to happen because we live in a capitalist society. So, boo-hoo.
Mm-hmm. And he's in a position where I guess he needs to play it safe with everyone to be able to have deals done and all that, and that we're never gonna get that from him.
Unfortunately, no. Also, what I don't understand is that why, like, there was another person presenting the main show, and she was so much more natural the way she was presenting, and I understand that Keighley is the one that has worked the most to bring this to life, or at least the main person that we know that has worked the most to bring this to life. But maybe there should be recognition that on the hands of a better presenter, this could have been less clunky. Also, I'm not complaining. Actually, the clunkiness and the awkwardness of the whole thing makes me enjoy it more. I love cringe moments, so seeing cringiness makes me happy.
I think the part of the problem with Jeff Keighley is that he takes this way too seriously. I get the impression every time that he's too scared for anyone to say anything that might be out of script or take too long or whatever, and he comes across as this really awkward hey let's go kind of thing, which makes it feel really disrespectful to the people that are presenting their games, to the audience, with the culmination, or like the peak of that being the last Game Awards, where he was playing everyone out with the music like 30 seconds in the speech.
I was because Christopher Judge had an 8-minute speech or something, and everyone lost their shit. It's like, okay, he's worked in the industry now. Let him speak. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, let them speak. They cut off fucking Kojima. He cut off Kojima.
Yeah. So all that stuff makes me dislike the main show most of all.
Hey,
even if it has good games that it shows, I dislike it as a show as it is at the moment.
I like the festival-y vibe more. I like Day of the Devs. And you know what, even if Wholesome Games is mostly crap at this point, like, it does bring some hidden gems in there.
Also, this year we got Giant Bomb at Night again, which was a great thing. Like, if this starts happening again around the shows, I'm gonna be enjoying them even more. I'm gonna be glad they're happening, because now that Giant Bomb is independent, they can again do some of this messy stuff that they used to do because it's just them. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we were planning on doing the demo section in this episode, but obviously this has gone on for long enough. And I have played a lot more demos than Space Otter has, so we might give it another week for the demos, so that Space Otter can play all the demos he wants to play, and then we can do an episode for that, because I don't think a 3-hour long episode is a good podcast episode.
Let me play my games.
Yeah. So we'll get that next week. Like, our normal schedule will be every other week. For the specials that are time sensitive, like this one, we'll be putting them up between other episodes.
I don't think when we cover the video game awards, there's going to be a second episode.
No, because we're not going to have demos at that point.
But we have a load of stuff on the side there to check out, and it's going to be a shame to just let them be. So, yeah.
So you got some teasers in this episode about what we're going to be talking about in the next one, about the demos, like Baby Steps and Hirogami.
You know, I entered the Steam Next Fest page like just earlier this morning, and I was looking at the demos that are available, and it was throwing me, let's say, adult games, mature games, one after the other for demos, and I'm like, are they actually putting this now in the Next Fest?
Oh, yeah. They're front page on Steam all the time because they're popular and people download them. So
that's the thing. I had to turn off the filter for the mature games, let's say, thing on Steam because it was not allowing me to find Fear and Hunger, which is something I want to play eventually. And it literally, like, started throwing out porn games basically to me the whole time. And
it's full of them. I love seeing the titles. Like, it's very amusing.
Yeah, these generally make me feel uncomfortable, so no.
But yeah, there are a lot of demos there. Like, I had to become quite selective in the end because I was seeing, oh, this looks cool. Oh, this looks cool. Oh, this looks cool. And then I'm like, I can't spend an entire week playing demos. I have other things to do.
I have installed about 20, so it will be
all right.
Awkward to pick some, but I know I'm gonna dedicate 2 or 3 evenings.
I attempted to play 12 because one would not run. We'll talk about it. And I have some notes on each one of them, and we'll go over them in the next episode about a week from now. From when you're hearing this, I guess. So stay tuned.
Thank you for joining, and I hope you liked us talking about ads.
Yeah, I hope this served as a bit of a sieve for you to not have to sit through every ad, but also to get a bit of an idea of like what kind of stuff we find interesting so that you can calibrate even more your tastes against our tastes.
And if anyone actually spotted anything that you think we missed or it was worth the time to check, do recommend things to us, and you can see our email in the description. So yeah, I'm looking forward to recommendations. So
cool. Yeah, send them in.
We want to thank everyone that has been involved and has let us make this happen, and with their help and dedication. You know who you are. They all prefer to remain anonymous. And I also like to thank my cat.
Yes, let's not forget the important stuff here.
He is the channel mascot, the podcast mascot. Oh, how cute. Thank you, Vol, for editing this in.
If you want to catch us live playing video games, you can find us over on Twitch, either VoleMaulder or Space Otter.
We are currently going through
Atlas Fallen, and we have started uploading our old VODs on YouTube.
First one is up now.
Which will be a little bit rough.
Yeah, it is rough. Just for anyone that has actually watched it. My internet was bad. The sound was not great. I wanted to have like a little bit more of a back and forth kind of editing for the first one, but I realized that on my side, I was too loud, the game was too low, Vol was too low. Then at some point the internet craps out and I drop out, so we have to make an edit. So Vol jumps from one topic to the next. But hey, it's the first one. By the time we upload Resident Evil 6, we're gonna be fucking experts.
Yeah, it's the first one, it's live, we're figuring shit out, everyone has to start somewhere. It's our garage days.
We are still at our garage days, and we're gonna improve as we go, but that's the fun of it. Like, we're learning, you're learning about us and how useless we are. We love you all.
Yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, bye!